All right. Good morning, mothers. Thank you so much for joining us again for our Saturday virtual hangout. It's always so nice seeing your beautiful faces, and happy International Women's Day before I forget. With us this morning, we have a precious mother in our midst. Her name is Stella Chibuke Ezike. I hope I pronounced that right.
Yes, yes, you did.
Yeah, she is a learning and development enthusiast, educator, writer, and author whose work sits at the powerful intersection of parenting, leadership, and personal development. A journey into conscious parenting is fueled by a deep belief in the power of learning beyond the classroom, recognizing the education extends far beyond traditional academic settings. As a passionate advocate for intentional living and lifelong learning, Stella helps parents and leaders discover their transformative potential in shaping the next generation. She firmly believes that parents are the most effective teachers in a child's life. Their influence is unmatched, and creating both a profound responsibility and privilege that should be embraced wholeheartedly. Through her engaging content of Substack and YouTube, Stella explores the delicate balance of personal ambition and family life. Drawing her journey as a mother and educator, she brings a unique perspective to personal growth and child development. Her work resonates deeply with those navigating life's demand while pursuing meaningful growth and fulfillment, emphasizing that nurturing thriving children begins with nurturing ourselves. And I always tell us, you cannot give from an empty cup. When she's not writing or creating content, Stella enjoys spending quality time with our family and discovering new adventures together. She is actively demonstrating these principles in her own life, constantly exploring new ways to learn, grow, and contribute to our community. Stella is currently working on expanding her impact through strategic content creation and upcoming projects that will further support parents and leaders in their journey toward intentional, fulfilling lives. We can connect with Stella on Substack and YouTube. Welcome with me, Stella Chibuke. Thank you so much.
Wow. Thank you so much. I'm so honored, privileged to be here. And thank you so much for everyone who has come out here. I know, like you said, it's there's a lot goes on in our lives as women and juggling multiple responsibilities, but making our time to be here, pick one thing or two to implement in our lives. It's I do not take it for granted at all. Thank you so much for having me today. I'm really excited because today, of course, happens to be Women's Day. So yes, it's going to be an exciting one. Um, I've been tasked to talk about creating a thriving and learn. Can you all see my screen? I just assumed that everyone
Yes,
can see my
yes.
screen. Okay. Okay. Creating a thriving and learning home. Like I was saying just before we started this formally. I'm driven by the message that we cannot raise thriving children if we are not thriving ourselves, and it doesn't matter what we are doing, professionals, business women, whatever it is we are doing, we have to take ownership of our personal growth, our self-development, before we can take on the responsibility of even ensuring that we can nurture children who thrive, in their daily lives, particularly in the era that we are in, right? So we cannot take that for granted at all. And part of the things that I'll be talking about today is how to create a thriving and learning home. Yeah. So let me just. Okay. So again, I'm thrilled to be here as we celebrate Women's Day today. And today is not just about celebrating us as women, but it's about taking action, for us to be able to nurture, for us to be able to, thrive or grow, we need to take action, right? And what kind of action? Action that transforms our lives, action that transforms our homes, most importantly, action that transforms our children's future. So whilst I was navigating my own journey, that's when I learned that, or I started seeing a different way to view learning and personal growth vis-a-vis parenting, right? Or, nurturing, raising children whom God has given us, right? And we're all busy moms, like we've said again. We're juggling work, we're juggling home, we're juggling, responsibilities, which usually feels overwhelming, right? But then we need to be able to have a structured way to embrace learning and growth. And if we also wanted our children to embrace this learning and growth, we need to embody it first. And throughout my own journey, of self-discovery and intentional learning, that's what I really realized. And that's part of what I'll be sharing with you today. Or, we'll all be learning today, yes, because I believe that it's going to be an interactive session. We're all here to learn from one another. So today we're going to be talking about how to create a thriving and learning-centered home, some of the practical ways that we can integrate curiosity and lifelong learning into our daily lives, simple strategies that we can use to model personal growth for our children, and one or two exercises that is aimed at leaving us inspired and ready to take action at the end of this lesson, or at the end of this session today. So yes, so this is what this session has been prepared to for us to take away today, as things that we're going to be implementing going forward in our own lives. Okay, so I'll just since my profile has been read already, I'll just skip this. I'll talk a bit more about the things that I do maybe at the end of the session. Okay, so what was IWD 2025, just talking a bit about the theme, March Forward, Accelerate Action. What does it really mean? It means moving beyond conversations. It means breaking cycles, leading by example, taking one step today or one or more steps today, because we are looking at the future tomorrow for ourselves and for our children. So if I were to ask today, like, what is one bold action that you want to take this year, right? We're in March already, at the beginning of the year, which is synonymous with, I would call it New Year resolutions, or, maybe new goals, new goal setting, reviewing how the past year has been, what are the things that you aim to achieve. One way or the other, we usually sit down with ourselves and have that kind of reflection, with ourselves. So in terms of the actions that we plan to take, maybe at the time, or even today, tomorrow, because I believe that there is no day that you cannot make your new year, in quotes, right? You can decide today to say, oh, these are the things I'm going to be doing from now on. So what is one bold action that we want to take this year to grow, first as a person, as a woman, as a mother, and of course as a leader? So I'll go first. For me, is I want to continue to build my brand, write my other books, build my community of intentional learners who intend to raise thriving children. That's one core goal that I want to. Of course, that's the high level, and then it has multiple layers. But I think one thing for me is be able to build my brand, write my other book, and then continue to build that community of intentional learners who understand that for them to raise thriving children, they need to thrive themselves. Do we have other goals or other actions I want to take this year to be able to grow as a woman, as a mother, as a leader who is raising children?
Yes, for me, as a woman, yes, I want to really spend more time taking care of myself, because I believe when you take care of yourself, it gives you the confidence as a woman. Because over the years, I realized that in the course of me paying attention to others, to the home, to people around me, I'm leaving myself behind. and it has really get to me that it's even affecting me. So I'm so intentional this year. I did a series earlier this year and was talking about sleep. You know, when I shared it online, when my husband came back home, was like, "You that posted today on sleep, do you sleep?" And sincerely, when I was doing that recording, my spirit was like, "This is for you." So you really have to start sleeping. I don't sleep. So, and since then, I've been trying as much as possible to be like between 6, 7 hours. Yes, I've not been able to like get it at a stretch, but I tried to become religious with it. Then trying as much as possible to spend time taking care of my hair. Yes, taking care of my hair, taking care of myself, relaxing. My husband will say, "You are sleeping, you are working." Now, if you sleep, you are working. So I don't want to be too busy and jeopardizing my health. So that's one of the things for the woman aspect, for mother aspect, spending more time with the children, communicating. I want to hear more from them. So now I bring in the idea of giving them a notebook, summarize how your day
Hmm.
went. So even if I'm at work, put it at the side of my bed. When I come back, I will read it. Then now
Awesome.
they can easily call me when I'm at work. I can talk when I'm at work. So yesterday they were telling me, "Mommy, it's been a while we did a Bible study. So let's fix a time. 6:30, we can do a Bible study." So I said yes. Because I was not working for over 7 years before I got
Uh,
this job. Yeah, so we do all this Bible study thing. So I was like, okay, no
uh,
problem. We'll continue with the Bible study. 6:30, okay, that's the deal. So with that, that is helping me to be a mother. And as a leader, I want to continue to impact women, to encourage mothers, to help mothers to come out of their depressing situation, because especially in developed countries, it's not like we back in Africa that we can easily get Shukra come to our house taking care of the children, or we can easily call Mama in the village to come around. Yeah, even if you have Shukra, Shukra wants to make money.
Shakira is making money. Oh. Shakira doesn't send you.
Shukra wants to make money. So with that, impacting mothers that come, even if you are taking care of children in developed countries, you can still spend time with them. You can still spend time with yourself, and you can still help you in your career. That does not make you to be redundant, sitting down, you're not doing anything. You can lay hands on some skills, business, things you can do online. And
So
so,
much. So much to
yeah,
do. Wow. Thank you so much. I mean, this is, in fact, if we finish the session, no? Thank you
sorry.
so much. Thank you so much. I mean, one thing that even me, I'm guilty of that. I've also started learning is we don't take care of our health as women. Like we just want to. Even today, I was at a program and it was same thing on health to say, as mothers, we are just concerned about every other person but ourselves. But you can't pour from an empty cup. It takes an intentional approach to be able to understand that you need to start taking care of yourself. Taking care of yourself is not, I think I read about that maybe last month or so. It's not, you don't need to feel guilty about self-care. It's not, you have to take care of yourself. And I'm happy that a lot of us are beginning to also embrace this reality, because and you will see how that sleep, you think I want to do everything in the world, but you know what, just go and sleep and you will see how you'll be able to like somebody who usually says nobody is going to die if you don't do that. That's what, nobody would die, that nobody has died.
Sure,
Life will go on, right? Yeah. So
sure.
also on the on being able to make time, like I understand firsthand how, as working and juggling the things that you have to do with your children, because honestly the children are not going to remember that, oh, I had to do this one because I wanted to provide school fees, or take buy clothes for you. They're going to remember the memories, Bible study time, the times that we sat down together and we read the book and we discussed it, the times that we watched a movie together, the times that you just said, how was your day? That's really, and it doesn't have to be 5 hours, 1 hour.
Mhm,
If we can structure
mhm.
our time properly, 30 minutes is enough connection time that will last them, that will give them the memories for a lifetime, as long as it is consistent. And that's why I encourage us all to also put in structures into our daily life. It also helps the children. Children thrive best in a structured environment, an environment where they understand, oh, this is what we're supposed to be doing now, and we are doing it. It also helps to regulate, them, and even in their development as well. So, and just even if it's 10 minutes, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, as much as practicable, depending on our different the different our different dynamics, which comes to play based on, maybe the kind of job we have, or maybe the environment that we are in. So we all have what will definitely work out for us if we really strip down, look at what exactly are the things that take up our time. We realize that we can pick a 30 minutes here and there, 40 minutes here and there, that we can really spend with the children, right? And of course, as a leader as well, supporting women, we all have something that we have deposited in us, that we can share with the world, our children first, our community, our surroundings. And of course, the world is a global village today, right? You can be in your bedroom and churn out content that will go to the ends of the earth. So thank you so much for sharing that as well. All right, so let's move on. Okay, so at the beginning of the session, I talked about the fact that for you to grow, for you to raise thriving children, right? For you have to be the one to, it's your responsibility to own personal growth, right? And that's because children are usually children learn best by watching. Children learn best by modeling, not just listening, right? So you don't say, oh, go and watch, go and read your book. How many books have you read? How many books have you read? What new skills have you learned? Oh, yeah, you're not reading again. Oh, yeah. What about you? What are you doing about yourself? So when I started taking my, learning new skills more intentionally, reading, challenging myself, I realized that there was a shift, there was a change, right? My children did the same. And that shift was clear. Learning was no longer something that I told them to do. It was now something that we embraced together, right? They see me reading, they see me, doing one thing or the other, taking one class or the other. And it just comes natural to them. They just understand that, oh, okay, no, this is how, this is something that we should be doing as well. Children learn best by modeling, as in that. I can't even emphasize that. And if we want to raise empowered, thriving children, we must actually try first. Again, still talking about the fact that children copy what you do not. Children copy what you do, not what you say, right? There's actually a social learning theory on this. If they see us giving up, they internalize quitting. If they see us pushing forward, they embrace resilience. I think 2-3 days ago or thereabout, I was supposed to have not planned for a presentation to someone very high up in the country, and it wasn't planned for it. I just got a call, and my MD wasn't around, and then the other lady who we kind of worked together also was not around. And I'm like, okay, I'm just supposed to come and do this just like that. It was just me and then my team. Okay, let's see what we can quickly put up together. I had about 3 hours of lead time. So the call came around 9 a.m. The meeting was for 12 noon. And before then, my daughter she's going through prefectship elections in school. She's 8 years old. And then, she because for them to be elected, they have to have, so she's going to have to come up and read the manifesto in one day, and then maybe another day she's going to run debates and all of that, So I had initially encouraged her to take up the challenge, not necessarily because there's something special about being a prefect, but that process of doing all of this, even telling yourself, okay, this is why I want to do this thing, coming up with all of these things. Oh, okay, why do you want, even that process of even research, what does it mean to it was a learning opportunity for me, that I saw that, that we can actually use this to teach something, right? Confidence, self discipline, leadership skills, and all of that. So I'd encourage her initially, but you know what, it's still your decision. So she later came and said, okay, you know what, that she will do it. And then a day to the manifesto day, we had come up with something together. She was practicing in front of me. And that she was like that she doesn't know that she's scared. What are you scared of? Oh, maybe she will say the wrong thing and somebody will laugh at her. So, of course, I boosted her confidence, and I'm like, nobody, yes, what about people who are not even coming out, right? You don't allow anybody put you down, all of those talks. Now, the next day was when this call came in. Initially, I froze. Okay, wait, how am I going to do this? And then I just remembered, okay, so I'm going to take on this challenge, right? There's nobody to do it. It has fallen on me. I must do it, right? Whatever the case, it can't be that bad. It's not like I don't have what to say. Yeah, maybe the person's profile is intimidating, but then the person doesn't know what I know, right? So why not? So whilst I was driving to the venue, I was just telling myself that I'm going to use this as an opportunity. When my daughter comes back from school, I'm going to tell her that this and this happened to me, right? I was also in a situation, maybe not exactly the same, but a similar situation where maybe I was scared of facing something, but then I went ahead. I mean, I didn't even think of that. I just, just that's what I'm thinking about right now. What I need to do is I need to get this done. And I just faced the thing head on. And you know what? We did it and we came out of it. And I said I was going to talk to her about to say, this is my own, this is what I also passed through. Because I realized that being able to express some of these things, they internalize it much better. They understand it firsthand when you're telling them, embrace resilience, persevere, don't quit. These are the kind of learning opportunities that you can, teachable moments that you can use, in also building your children in that, learning, building a learning home for your children. So write down one habit you want to model for your kids today. Just write it down, for yourself, and then just, own it and run with it. Okay. So just like I was just giving the example of, what happened to me, the growth mindset starts at home. Again, I'll repeat, there is something that I hold so there, like it's like my mantra, right? I say that parents are the first and most effective teachers in a child's life. Like it is so profound. It is so profound. The influence we have is unmatched. Like if you are able to utilize what you have as a parent, as a mother, to build your child, there is no environment, no culture, no peer pressure, no nothing. Those things will come definitely, right? But then the way that you have cultivated your child, even when your child, I mean, as parents, we get to a point where we're probably no longer the people, they of course, there'll be friends, there'll be other people, and then of course we are spirits. But then when they understand that they can always come back to you for anything, it means that even when they are confused, they will come back to you to ask, okay, how do I do this? How do I go here? And all of that. So, and that starts with building from owning that, understanding that you have so much influence over your child. And if you use it rightly, right, you're going to nurture a thriving, a resilient child. So the growth mindset, it starts at home. Intelligence, and there's also a research, on growth mindset, that intelligence and skills are not fixed. There's nothing like, oh, this person cannot be smart, or this, no, there's nothing like that. They can grow with effort. It just takes the right nurturing. And children who develop a growth mindset perform better academically and socially. Children who understand, these things that we are talking about. How do we nurture a growth mindset? One of the examples I gave about what happened to me just about, I think, 3 days ago. It was Wednesday, yes, just on Wednesday this week. And I always, whenever things like this happen, I always use them as opportunities to talk to them, right? we're going to also see other examples of, the things that I do. And then, we can also, share, see how, we also help ourselves in the home. Now, another way of building a growth mindset, right? Don't be afraid of failing in front of your child. Failing in front of your child is powerful. Why? Because it normalizes struggle, it normalizes persistence. These things are not things that are we are in this life. There is no it must happen. We cannot shield our children from failure or from, because how do they build from struggle? How do they build the resilience that they need? It's not in any textbook, it's in the school of life, right? The reason why this picture is here, August last year, right? Before August last year, in fact, I used to be so terrified of water. Like, I had never even gone, I didn't even go to the beach. I've never put my leg in water that I want to swim. Now, when my children were 4 and 2, they started swimming. Like the younger one, the one that was even like, she was doing so well. And then all of a sudden, 2 years ago, 2023, she just developed one phobia for water. It was I couldn't explain it. Like, even the swimming instructors, just like that. Like, this was someone who was doing awesome, and then suddenly she doesn't want to come there. Anytime it was time for swimming classes, she would just start crying. What's going on? Of course, I checked out. So, was it anything funny going on? I was usually always there, anyways. So that was ruled out. What's going on? You know what? She just developed one phobia for water, and then I made up my mind to, what? I'm going to get her to start swimming again. But this time around, I'm not going to stand by the sidelines and be shouting, "Oh, you can do it, you can do it." I'm going to go into the water. So that phobia I have for water, I'm going to work it out together, right? And it was because of her that last summer we all enrolled. This time I went to a new place. I thought, okay, maybe let's also change the environment. We went to a new place, and 3 of us we enrolled afresh. Me that I've not even, as in, I don't even want to hear water, but I had to model courage in front of her. So of course, by the time she started, she started overcoming it a bit. But even me that had not even entered the water before, I had to. They saw how I was struggling, how I'll be so scared. You just put your head down, and they saw real time how I was so terrified. They saw, more importantly, they saw how I began to overcome. They saw how, I started doing what they were doing. And in fact, I have one video that I posted on something where the 3 of us were, doing like a mini race in the water. And it was just so profound, because I didn't have to sit her down and be giving her motivational speech on, oh, you can do it, or, and all of that. It was just clear. They saw how I struggled and how I overcame that struggle. And that's like the most powerful thing that you can ever do, for your children. So it's not about being vulnerable and then, you are crying, or your children are not they're not your friends. They are not so you won't put that burden on them. However, you are showing them that, oh, despite the struggle, I can overcome. That's actually what is important to them, right? So when you are modeling this to them, you are not modeling them from a place of weakness. You're modeling from a place of, yeah, you may be vulnerable, but you're modeling from a place of strength. You're telling them that this is a struggle, but I can overcome. When you show them, that's what they see, that's what they take in, that's what they internalize. Oh, struggles are part of our lives, but with the right mindset, we can overcome. So building a learning culture, like I've been saying, learning is not about textbooks. It's about curiosity. It's about using the things that we have all around. Like, there is so much to learn. There are so many things that are all around us that we can learn from, even for us first, before, even our children. So it's not about textbooks, it's not about reading, but it's about understanding that we need to build in curiosity into our children. how do we do this? So these are some of the ways that I do, right? And then of course we can also, talk about other ways, right? Reading in front of your children is it's so lovely, right? When you read, you show them that, oh, you know what, books are magical. Books will take you to places that you probably may not even go to, right? Throughout your lifetime. Explore, try new hobbies. Like I just shared the swimming. I mean, that I even did that out of, I needed to prove something. But take on new hobbies. Like we do music together. We do French, learning the new language French together. I mean, if there are things of interest that that you like, or things of interest that they like, you can, you know, bring yourself into it. Find ways to bring yourself into it. Share your experiences. Like when you talk about these things, it's like, oh, these are additional ways beyond even the learning culture. There are additional ways to bond, because there is one more thing that you can talk about and share together. And it doesn't matter how old the child is. Honestly, it really doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is how you tailor the conversations, and maybe the kind of hobbies that you want to try together. But really, this works for any child, right? And ritualize, make learning a daily ritual. It's not until you sit down, to, okay, what are we learning today? No, it's not classroom. I just shared an example of two examples, even more, of how you just pick, there are things happen in your life, you notice that, okay, this is something that I can use to, have a conversation. Or it may just be something happened in school, they are telling you about it. You know what? Oh, okay, you pick up something, and it's something that you can use to have a conversation about later on. It may not exactly, it may not be right there and then, depending on the mood. It might be something that, okay, maybe you note, okay, I didn't like the way she answered this her friend in school. You make a note of it. At some point, maybe later, you can have a conversation around it. It might be something around researching. We do a lot of that in the house. As long as they ask a lot of questions, children are naturally very curious people. Um, Most of the time, I usually don't answer. Oh, you know what? Let's go and find out this thing together. So we go online, we go to YouTube, we put it to Dr. Binox in all of these learning channels. We sit down there and we learn it together. Sometimes they come to me, Mommy, do you know this? Okay, where did you get that from? Okay, so they even teach me a whole lot of things. So that's how it just becomes, if you are able to build this kind of things in place, it just becomes a culture. It's not forced, it's just so natural, right? That, oh, they want to learn something new, maybe about something extremely, maybe space. They come up with, we learn about all sorts. We just go online, we find out, oh, what is it? Okay, we learn. The other day was something about, why does iron rust, still doesn't rust? Something came up from in her science. Okay, we learn it together. Okay. The other day was about, I think one Sunday in church, this dew that drops, it just dropped. I'm like, where is water? Is it rain? I said, no, it's not rain, it's dew. What is dew? Okay, we'll learn about it after church. So it just helps you to build that culture. These are things that you can do in 10, 15, 20 minutes max, and you've moved on. And that might even just be the only thing you've learned. That might be the only connection window for the entire day. But you know what? It is so, so, so powerful. So another thing that I would like you to notice, what is one thing that you start doing today to create a learning culture? Or maybe we should even talk about it. Maybe there are other ways that we create learning cultures at home, just for the benefit of every one of us on the call. And or what are the things that we want to start doing, based on what we've heard so far. Who wants to go first? I hope I'm still audible though.
Yeah. Mamas, please, let's talk. Let's talk. I don't want to. Let's
Hello.
talk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please, yeah. Thank you, Kirika.
Good afternoon, ma.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. Thank you very much for the session. It's very, very insightful. Well, I
Thank
think
you.
for me, one of the things that I've started doing is to learn to manage my emotions. because for personally, I've struggled a lot with so many things, including being resentful and being angry. And it's most times I like pour that whole oil on my kids, and it got me thinking after a while that man, these kids are not responsible for me being angry. Why am I taking it out on them? It got really bad that most times when I'm talking to them, I just scream and shout unnecessarily. So one thing for me, I'm still learning to manage my emotions. And another thing is let our kids be the first to hear some certain things from us. Let's be their first mention. Let's teach them about. Okay, there was this webinar I was listening to, and there I realized that most of in fact, everything that I learned about sex and relationships didn't come from my parents. It came from friends and outsiders. And it's not something I have ever sat down to really think about. But that's something that got me like, as I see my life, if not because
Exactly.
of the kind of family I came from, that if you mess up, you're in trouble. I don't think I'll be where I am now. That's got me thinking. I didn't learn one thing about sex or relationships or anything from my parents at all. As a not one thing. And it's really bad. Like, why didn't that happen? Why didn't I learn that? Why? Because for me now, it's affecting my parenting style. I'm thinking, okay, now what if my kids go outside and learn these things and they now come to the house and they start doing it? Then I will start fighting Jericho and Jezebel. Like, you don't do that. And I didn't even teach them. Like, so what's the point of fighting them? So it's a lot, but I think we should learn to be the first to teach our kids all these things. Let's be the first. Let's be the first people they hear it from. Anything, relationships, sex. Let's not always have that African parent mentality of once your daughter tells you, mommy, I have a boyfriend, there's a boy I'm crushing on, you still will bring out all the bazooka and in double skill commando parenting. Like, how can you or that? As in, it's it's taking a lot to learn how to deal with it, but I believe we as parents need to change. We need to remove that whole African parenting system that we've learned. It's affecting me greatly, but I'm dealing with it. Even hugging my children was like a big thing. Like, I couldn't bring myself to, like, okay, let me hug. So why am I hugging them? What is hugging? Why am I? Because I never got that from my parents. So I just thought it's normal. It's a normal thing. But when I see as in kids hugging their parents and like, so Kiri, if you hug your child, will anything happen to you? Will you feel anything from your body? Like, I started doing it recently and my kids felt good. I felt good about it. Like, it was, madam, it's well. It's well, really. I think another thing that affects us is um the way our parents raised us. And if we
Yes.
don't like think back and realize that most of the things that we are going through right now as parents, or most of the things that we are exhibiting on our kids actually came from the way our parents as
Yeah.
in raised us. We won't see, we won't know. We
Yeah.
just be pouring all that childhood traumas onto our children. Might not even realize that we're doing it, but it's there. So
Mm-hmm.
personally for me, I'm dealing with a lot. I'm getting to that point of realizing the things that I need to do and not letting that affect my children and like changing my whole mentality. Because something happened in myself. Sorry, am I talking too much now?
No, 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 please. We are learning a
Okay,
lot.
something happened with my son. My son is 7, and
Okay.
he came home. Well, not he at school when I went to drop him off. So a girl just came to meet me like, oh, that's someone broke up with my son. Like, eh? Like, I didn't hear you well. Like, Natalie broke up with Justin. Say, eh? Broke up. I mean, what do you mean? But she said she doesn't want him to be her boyfriend. And I say, eh? In my mind, I was thinking and I wanted to explode. Like, but I couldn't do that because of the environment and everybody was looking like, here, calm down. Just calm down. I faced myself. I asked him, what's going on? What's the meaning? He now told me, oh, Natalie broke up with me. She said she doesn't want me to be her boyfriend anymore. I said, eh? Hey. And like that was the first time I was hearing such from him. He had never mentioned it. He has never, like, which one is girlfriend again in year two? What kind of. So I just left him because it was in the morning. I couldn't start saying anything. And I didn't want to start lecturing. It's like I went home, I sat down, I started thinking that, okay, that this class, it might be something that his classmates are all doing, all talking about. Why didn't he talk about it? So when you go home, I asked him, okay, what does girlfriend mean? He said, okay, she's just my friend and we play together. We eat lunch together. That's all. But he now said, okay, since Natalie broke up with me, Matt is my new girlfriend. I said, eh? I said, no, no, no. I started telling her, see. Well, I instead of exploding, like I was like vibrating. Like okay, I tried turning into like I started teaching him, saying, okay, being someone being your friend, just say the girl is your friend. She's not your girlfriend. That the girlfriend is a big word for adults. It's only for adults and it's only for adults. And again, I kept teaching him that not everyone has to like you. Not everyone is going to like you. There are people who would not like you no matter what you do. But I told him that, see, I don't even like your daddy all the time. He's there laughing. See, yeah, it's true. So you need to know that if Natalie broke up, if Natalie says she doesn't want to be your friend anymore, that's fine. You let her go. You move on. Now, with Matty, if Matty's a girl, just call her your friend. Don't use the word girlfriend. Don't do that. Like, where did you even hear the word from? So, some people were just talking about it and say, okay, let's this. If I play with you today, then you're my girlfriend. So, no, 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 it's not like that. Don't call it that. So, girlfriend is a big word. It's only for parents, for adults. Like, okay, okay, I understand. Man, it takes grace to parents. I swear.
It does.
It
It
is
does.
not.
It does.
It's not an easy thing. It takes a lot of grace. But another thing is, whatever we learn, we should implement it and not be the, copy and paste kind of parenting. I think for me, my parenting style is like commando. And it's not my fault because I learned that from my father. But I am learning to calm down. Just
Mm-hmm.
learning to calm. I'm learning to calm down. It hasn't
Mm-hmm.
been easy, but I'm learning to calm down. I'm learning
Mm-hmm.
to hug my kids. I'm learning to actually even peck them.
Mm-hmm.
Pecking them was a problem for me because, like, I saw it like, why? Why am I doing it? Why am I pecking them? Sometimes I ask myself, Q, how did you even get married, sir? Okay.
I can totally relate. I can totally relate. Thank you so much. I mean, we are all a lot of some of these things you are saying, they are not strange to me at all. Like these are things that I also passed through. And it's a lot from our parenting, how we're parented in those days. Our parents from, baby boomers, silent generation, that's how
Yeah.
they knew how to parent, right? It was all about toughness, being strict and all of that.
Oh,
And
my
we
father was the president general. Like, once you hear that cow horn, once you hear the cow horn, you had better not be wet. So you just get up and just, as
ex-
in, sit yourself
exactly.
somewhere.
Exactly. But unfortunately, we cannot afford to parent the way we are, we were parented. And that's why we need to keep seeking knowledge. We need to keep growing in all areas of our lives. You mentioned, if you've said a lot of things, I mean, and they are so, so profound because these are things that a lot of us, I dare say, if not all of us, have struggled with that or even still struggling with at one
Yes,
point
yes.
or the other, right? Managing emotions, for me too, is something. Managing emotions is something that you continue to build on
Yes.
a daily basis. On a daily basis, for me, it's better. But then it's not something that you do and you are done with it. It's something that over and over and over and over again, right? Because you had a bad day at work. Okay, how is it your child's issue? What has the child got to do with it? And these are things that really, really thinking about it. But is it not madness or a child is already hurt and crying, and then you're still shouting on the child again? Like, it doesn't really make sense if we really think about it. But because we didn't know better. But now that we are learning and we are trying to be better. Like these are things that it's not going to be automatic, right? But then with the right mindset, with the right, intention to say, oh, I'm going to do this, and this is what I want to achieve. We gradually will get there. Gradually you'll get better. And I'm sure even as you started hugging your children, I'm sure you could see that there is some difference. Like you will see that you will see that soft spot. And this is where, again, all of these things are linked together. You mentioned the law of first mention, which is basically whatever it is that in fact, not even with something we shouldn't even play with in this day and age, right? They need, because if you don't teach them, Google will teach them, friends will teach them. I mean, all sorts will teach them. So and where does it come from? Somebody you don't connect with, you now come and start saying, I mean, they won't even listen. They can sit down and be hearing what you're saying, but you're not connecting. They're not communicating. They're not listening to you. So the connection, the hugging, the time together, the bonding, all of those things is what makes that law of first mention effective. So and these things are not things that you sit them down and you start lecturing them. No, these are things that I'd mentioned teachable moments, windows. There are windows of opportunity that somebody can just, oh, you know what, you just start having that conversation. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, say so casually, like, oh, just not like a lecture that you sit them down. No, so all of these things come from that bonding, and all of that. And I mean, you are already doing wonderful. You mentioned the fact that when he told you about the boyfriend, you had almost, in fact, the way we were parented, they will they will kill us as in. But then those things don't help. We need, and that is also that's also part of managing your emotions.
Yes, ma'am.
You just take it like you didn't even hear anything. Then somewhere time, maybe later in the day or in the next day, like, hey, there was something you were telling me about, or that I heard that. What was that about? That's really, you handled it just perfectly, and that's how it's supposed to be. It doesn't end in one day. It's an ongoing conversation. So you're already doing amazing. The fact that you are even here, you are seeking knowledge. It's a journey that we are all on. There is nobody has it all rosy. But what is important is, well, what are we doing? How are we trying to be better? Knowing fully well that no, where we are coming from is not how it's supposed to be. Even if even if it was okay then, that's not the skills that we need for today. A lot has happened, there is so much to contend with, with the whole LGBT, porn, all of that. Like, we cannot even afford to keep our children far from us. We need to keep them so close, not it's just physically, because of course they will go out into the world and all of that, but close enough to know that anything that confuses them, you're the first person they run to. And that's where that is the reverse of that law of first mention. You're the first person to say that thing to them. You're also the first person to hear when things are not, they're going to go into the world and meet all sorts, and they're going to get confused at some point. Who are they going to run? Would they run to that friend who doesn't know difference between his left and his right? Are they going to go to Google and search all sorts, or will they come to you to get that knowledge? And that also underscores the reason why we need to keep modeling personal growth. We need to keep modeling self-development. The children know. They know when their parent is, for lack of a better word, woke. They know that, oh, as they're growing, they know, can I even talk to mommy about this thing? Can I? They know. They know a parent who is all out there to keep being relevant in their lives. Or someone who is just interested in, you pay school fees, you buy clothes and all of that, and then just be going. They know. So if you don't model self-development, self-growth, personal growth, how will they come to you when they have issues? Even if you are so close and all of that. And that's where permissive parenting comes in. As sweet and whatever as permissive parenting is, the children will still go astray, because the children know that I can't come to mommy for this kind of thing. Because she doesn't even know her left from her right. They know. They can love you, but then they know. So, but when they see that, oh, we're at the forefront of even building ourselves, right? It also gives them that confidence that, even when they have issues, they are most likely going to come to you. There's never going to be 100%, but at least by the time we do our own part, and of course, we put in the spiritual work as well. it will be good at the end of the day. But then we can, the least we can do is to do our part and do it well. The life is already so hard. Why do we want to even make it harder for us? Let's do the things that we can do now. God has given us these children, in our care. The least we can do is raise them to be responsible and nurture them to thrive in life. It's not easy, but then the moment we decided to become parents, that is the work that God has given us to do. And that's, the least we can do is to make good of that responsibility. Thank you so much, Ikirika, for sharing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma. Thank you, ma.
Hey. So some of the ways that, we learn together, as a family. And again, this is all about, so yes, we're talking learning today, but then we see how it's all connected. I mean, it's all linked to even building bonds, with our children, building connection with our children. All of these things, they are all linked, so that when issues come up, right, you have that, you are able to you would know what's going on. There's no how that even when something is going wrong with your child in school, or wherever they are, you would see the patterns. You would see, some things will start being off. So maybe somebody who used to laugh and all of that, maybe all of a sudden becomes easily withdrawn. But if you didn't have that connection, if you didn't build that connection, you may not find out on time. And by the time you are finding, maybe something has happened in school, and then things are blown up, and then repairing such things is usually a Herculean task. So it is better that we work together, even when there are issues. We can, because we've created that connection. Even when there are issues, we trust that we can solve it together as a family. So how can we also use learning as an opportunity or as a way to build our bonds and our connections? Some of the things that we do, right? We usually have family book sessions. We've used, sometimes I have to read their books, like the books that they read. I read it just because I want to talk with them about it. Oh, do you remember how this man did this and did that? Okay, so what do you think he should have done? Or do you think do you think he acted, decently? Do you think all of these things, they just spark conversation? These are things that you can even do them. Maybe sometimes we're in the kitchen and we're having that conversation. So we don't even need to have a special time to sit down and have that conversation. Again, as busy moms that we are, right? We need to find creative ways to put all of these things together. Sometimes we have movie nights, we talk about it. We look for family-oriented movies that we can watch together. We discuss it. We can even pause it in the middle of the conversation of the movie, and we start talking about, okay, what do you think this person would do? What do you think that person would do? How do you think this person is acting? Sometimes if I want to teach them about bullying, I'll go and look for a movie where there's bullying in there. And I'll let them know, look, you will be bullied for just being you. Just because you are you will be bullied. So what are you going to do to prevent it? Or at least, even if it wants to happen, you mitigate it. Sometimes we use movies to have these certain conversations, right? Game nights, or we do that a lot. Storytelling, like the time I talked about, I had to do a presentation, and then that's a form of storytelling. These are things that you just have, before you know it, you've already integrated this as a culture in the home, right? Sometimes it's, what's the one new thing we want to learn? They ask one funny question. I don't know, even when I know the answer, I don't know the answer. Let's go and learn it together. Sometimes I learn it, and sometimes they learn and then they come back to me to say, okay, this is what they learn. A lot of times they even tell me so many new things that I don't even know, based on what they've learned. So these are just ways that, you can come together and build, learning as a family. Right? So what is one new learning activity that you are currently implementing or that you will implement? Write it down, and commit to doing it. Again, it's not how much time you have to do it or how many times in the week you have to do it. What is important is, if it's 20 minutes you have in a whole week, be consistent. If you say every Sunday we are doing movie night, be consistent. Of course, once in a while life will happen, but then that once or twice that you're going to miss in maybe a space of 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, It's not going to cause any harm. Why? Because you've built in consistency. It also helps the children to understand patterns, to understand structure. In fact, if you need to come up with a timetable, please do, to say this is what we do on these days. Please go ahead and do it. Right? It just also helps to build in, make it easy to follow through that structure, because life would always happen, and this doesn't stop every other thing that we are doing. Right? Again, remember that we are also growing, and growing means that we are also building ourselves, and building ourselves means that we are also investing time in ourselves. So how can we now make time for ourselves, at the same time make valuable time for the children that we are nurturing? We can't do that without putting together a structure in place in our home. So if we need to have a timetable in the home, let us do it. Whatever it takes, let us commit to spending as much as practicable with our children in different ways, right? Building those bonds, building those connections together as a family. So I would say that the biggest lesson that that we've come to take away today is the fact that our children don't need perfect parents. They need growing parents. They need parents who understand what it takes to develop themselves in all areas, who understand the fact that, oh, you know what, I wasn't parented properly, or, in certain areas, some things were lacking. There were these gaps there, not because our parents were bad parents, but because they didn't know any better. But now, what am I going to do what am I going to do to be able to parent my child better, knowing fully well that, there were some areas that were lacking. What am I going to do? Right? How can I be a better person? How do I model learning for my children? How do I make curiosity part of their daily life? How can I prioritize my own personal growth? Because my children need parents who are committed to personal growth and who are committed to building a thriving home. So let's continue to build thriving and learning homes together, right? And let us implement. Let us not just listen, let us implement, right? Because every child is born with an innate curiosity, and our role as parents is to nurture that curiosity. Again, is that if we can't nurture that curiosity, if we ourselves are not growing, right? And this slide is just to let you know some of the things, some of the ways that I do, some of the things that I do, to help individuals, parents, and children to embrace learning together, right? So I have a Substack newsletter where I share deeply reflective and practical insights on conscious parenting, personal growth, lifelong learning. I'm somebody who believes in learning beyond the classroom. Like the day, this what's the word now? This saying of the day is the day you stop. I literally live it. Like I literally live it. There's something new that I'm learning every day. And again, it is not learning that it has to be I'm taking it. No, all around us, if you look all around you, there is so much, that we learn from. Right. So I share reflective and insights on all of these things. And each edition is designed to help all of us build a thriving home, develop a learning culture, grow alongside our children, right? On my YouTube channel, I share videos on personal growth tips to help us lead by example, because we cannot give what we don't have. I also have a book on Amazon. There are two anyways, but this one is particularly built for integrating learning into everyday moments, helping you make every interaction count, whether it's a weekday evening, whether it's a holiday break, whether it's a weekend. How? By having simple, powerful activities that strengthen family bonds, creative strategies to make learning fun and engaging, right? And basically a practical way to raising thriving lifelong learners using different activities, short activities that would help you strengthen family. You see, at the foundation of everything that we're talking about today, and in all of the other sessions that we're going to be having, is connection. Without connection with your children, you can't really achieve much. And if you have children who are still very younger and all of that, it's even easier to build those connections. And what we've just talked about today is just one out of several ways to build connection and strengthen family bonds with our children. But we have to make out that time. We have to work towards building a thriving and learning home together. Why? Because when we grow, our children grow too. So let us take intentional action, from today. Thank you very much for listening. And I guess maybe there are discussions we can take and all of that. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Stella. Sincerely, this section we can't just end it like this. We really need to have episode 2, 3, 4, 5. Making it more interactive than this is so excellent. Thank you so much for your time. Mamas, do we have question, contribution, suggestions,
Comment.
and comments? I want to encourage us to subscribe to our YouTube channel, to our Substack, whichever that is convenient for you. Is a way of we saying thank you. One, we are supporting our ministry, and at the same time, we learn together. So I will encourage us to do this for her. She came here free of charge. She didn't collect any money from us. So we really have to give back as well. So do we have any comments, any question? Comments, question?
Contributions. We're all learning together.
Yeah. I know some of us are in a program, so I know I've received some messages before. Some are at work. So,
Okay.
Madam Adetayo, question, contribution. Madam Nadia, Madam Precious, the two Precious. I think one of them is at work. Oh, nice. Please do it. Also, you can put exercise as well. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yes, I'm listening, Madam Nadia.
No, thank you for the information. It was very informative and also relatable. I could follow along and understand exactly what you were saying and relate to it. Thank you so much for this message on this special day. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Nadia. Glad you resonated.
Yeah. All right. So if you don't have any question, let's just have a word of prayer before we leave this morning. We've had a lot about parenting style, and I really thank God for how even some of our contributions. And I realized something. Yesterday I was studying the case of Noah, and I saw how God, when God instructed him that, come, this will happen. I want you to take care of your family. I want you to build an ark. I want you to bring animals in. And, I sat down and I was ruminating on all these things. How was he able? The Bible said his sons and his sons' wives. That means there was an impact. He was able to inculcate a godly habit into their lives that they don't have choice to even question him. That daddy, why will you say all of us we should be ready and go inside the ark? God gave him the voice of authority. And the same thing as we mothers. God has given us voice of authority over our children. There are some mothers, when they call their children, they'll be like, Mommy, why? Why are you calling me? Or maybe if the mother say, oh, you have to do this, Mommy, why? Why will you tell me to do that? No, they will tell you no instantly, because there is no voice of authority. And, studying it, the rain was there for 40 days. And the Bible said, those that were outside, they all perished. They all perished. But God gave him wisdom. His children and his in-laws, they were saved. What now got me, so amazed was, how was he able to bring in elephants? Yes, goats, you can bring, I'm an agriculturist, so you can take maize and give to goats. Come, and we'll go. Yes, easily, to follow you. But elephants, how was he able to bring in elephants? That's still authority. It is authority. It's more than just you trying to, can I use entice? I don't know how you want to entice elephants. I don't know how you want to entice lion. I don't know how you want to entice tiger. But God gave him authority. So in one word, we're not going to take much of our time. It's just one prayer point. Lord, I need wisdom. Wisdom upon these children. See, God has given us these children. They are gifts from God, and we are going to give accounts. There are some steps God is telling us to take, but because of our background or where we are coming from, be like, no, and that no is no. But you are jeopardizing the future of these children. I love the example Ms. Kiruka mentioned the other time. A lot of things were just flashing through my mind, my parents' parenting style and the likes. We need God's wisdom. I want us to pray. I want just for a few minutes that, Lord Jesus, I need your wisdom. I need wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to take care of these children in the way they should go. So that when they grow old, that is what the Bible says. It said, train up your child the way they should go. When they grow old, they will not depart from it. That, Lord Jesus, I need this wisdom, oh God, to train my children the way they should go. Help me, Lord Jesus, to safeguard them when need be. When you want me to train them, when you want me to correct, when you want me to discipline, I need your wisdom to do it aright. Because some of us, we do the discipline wrongly. And at the end of the day, we'll be like, oh, mommy, is it no more than you asking me to kneel down or you scolding or whatever? I want us to pray for God's wisdom. Lord, I need your wisdom. I have no power of my own, oh Lord. I have no power of my own, oh Lord. Grant me the grace to fulfill purpose over these children, over my home. Grant me the grace, oh God. Over our husband, grant me the grace, oh God. I need wisdom. Yes, we really need this wisdom. Controlling our emotions. We need wisdom. We need God's wisdom. Because at times when you keep quiet too much, your quietness may be taken for granted. And when you talk too much too, it's another trouble. So we need the wisdom of God to be able to balance this. Lord, I need your wisdom. I need your knowledge. I need your understanding to the glory of your holy name. Blessed be the name of God. In Jesus' name we have prayed. Finally, I want us to tell God, after when Noah obeyed God, if we read, I think Genesis 8, the Bible says, and God remembered Noah. I want us to tell God that, Lord, remember my home this day. Remember us afresh. We want to experience you afresh. We want to experience your peace, your love, your visitation, your glory afresh in the name of Jesus. Father, Lord, I pray in your mercy, remember us afresh in each and every one home that are present here this day, and for all the mindful moms far and near, for our speaker. Oh Lord, we bring our home before you. Remember our for good, to the glory of your holy name. Blessed be the name of God. In Jesus' mighty name we have prayed. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Amen. God bless you.
Sorry,
God bless
I
us.
can I just quickly ask a question? I'm sorry. Oh, is being predictable as a parent okay? As in being predictable to your kids?
So this is in terms of is it in terms of discipline or generally?
Generally, discipline likewise, just in general.
So I would favor being predictable than being unpredictable any day, anytime. Children thrive best in predictability. Knowing, I mean, why do you want to be unpredictable? So okay, so you will not catch them doing something. I mean, if you if we have the right foundations, right, then I mean, for instance, if we have for my children, for instance, we have times for screen times and all of that. So sometimes I'm not at home. Sometimes I work from home. Sometimes I have to go out, and then they're back from school. You know what to do. I'm not going to. They know that they're not supposed to put on. If they need to watch something, they will call me to let me know. Can I do this? Even though this is not the children will always be children. Even though
Yes.
this is the time, or this wasn't what we agreed, but mommy, can I? They would not do that without either they will either not do it, or if at all they will call me. And that's because I mean being open, being I'm not trying to catch them for doing the wrong thing. That mentality alone is like then they will keep sneaking, because I'm not going to be with them all the time. So yes, I will be predictable. Let them know that this is what you're supposed to do part time. This is what you will get if you don't do this. I don't think there's any gain in being unpredictable, that your children do not even know how you are going to react part time. I don't think there is any gain in being that. I'd rather be predictable than be unpredictable.
Like giving them a sense of security or trust or
Yes,
something.
yes. It also even shows it also speaks about your trust in them.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you don't see that you trust them, then it's like, okay, even if I didn't, mommy will not even cuckoo believe me. Okay. And then these children, they have
It's true.
when the things that go through their minds, you'll be shocked, even how young they are. So I think it is better to be predictable than unpredictable. Things will go wrong, yes. But when we are able to build that foundation, even when things go wrong, we are sure that with the right remedial actions, things will be corrected.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
It's true, very true. And I can relate with this. At times when they do things they are not expected to do, I've built a relationship to the extent that they can easily come and confess. And when they confess, I don't, which right word will I use? Can I use the word? I don't discipline like, oh, for you to have done this, blah. Yes, I appreciate that you are telling me the truth. But next time, don't do that. So, and they will give me a hug, mommy, I'm sorry. So
And
with
you'll be
that, it
and
has really helped.
I'm telling you. In fact, let me just quickly share. I don't know. I'm sorry, maybe we're taking too much time. So when my daughter was 4, she started to lie. And that's natural, really. Lying is actually a developmental process, because particularly children who think well, who are very smart, and they are like, okay, it is a developmental process. In fact, it's not something to be overly anxious about. You just need to know the right thing to do. But at the time, I didn't have that understanding. So I used to come from a place of, no, we don't tell lies in this house. I'm like, I'm holier than thou. No, where did you pick that from? That thing, it used to irk me so bad, because I'm like, where did you even pick this thing from? I had no understanding of the fact that for some people it's actually a developmental process. But when I started to understand, when I started, this conscious parenting journey, I realized that I was modeling perfection to her. She's the kind of person who, it must not be said that she's the one that did something wrong. She always wants to be on the side of, no, we did the right thing. So when she does the wrong thing, because we all do the wrong things from time to time, when she does the wrong thing, she in her head, it was, let me lie so that at least I'll still be I know, I don't like to be in the negative side. Why? Because I was modeling perfection. I was coming from a place of, no, 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 no. We are perfect in this house, you know. But when I started to understand, I had to, come to a level and let her know that, look, we all make mistakes, So my tone changed. It became one of, we all make mistakes, that's no, that's even the only person who is infallible is God. Even your teachers in school, your parents, they are all, so that when you make a mistake, lying to cover it up is what even makes it worse. So even when you see me upset at you, it's not that thing you did anymore. It is now the fact that you lied to cover it up. So I had to also learn how to manage my emotions whenever. And you know what? These days are the ones that come to tell you, Mommy, I know don't be angry, but I did this. Mommy, I know you don't, you've told us, but I did this. And it was a journey. But as in, I saw firsthand how just something as little as tweaking how you manage your emotions, or as little as tweaking how you speak to your child when they do the wrong thing, it makes a world of difference, a whole world of difference. And today, she, in fact, if she does something wrong, she's coming to say, this is what I did. I did this, I did that. So I'd rather stick with predictability, let the children know that, oh, mommy doesn't like this thing, or this is not the right thing to do. Again, if we're unpredictable, then the things that we teach them, then they start getting confused in their head. Okay, this one that today we heard this, tomorrow we heard this. Are we really sure that what mommy is saying is, you know, children always thrive in predictable situations.
Thank
Just
you.
to add to, oh, is a session? Just to add to what Madam has said, there was a day I heard my son screaming at his sister. The way he was talking, like the way he was like this very authoritative tone, and he was screaming at her like, I called him, like, why are you talking to your sister that way? Why would you talk to your sister like that? Don't do that again. He said, yes, mommy. Then the next day, I don't know what he did. I used exactly the same tone on him. So when I was done, I sat down like, okay, what did he just do? I started thinking, oh my God, this is the way he learned it from. I started saying, what have I done? Like, this is how my son will go to someone. Well, I made someone gonna start screaming. I said, no. Like that day, I was very uncomfortable. I was worried. Like, why would I? And for that period, I was going through a lot. So I kept like everything. It was terrible. I felt so bad. We're not there yet, though, but it was really bad. Like saying that what Madam said, that kids watch what we do. They watch our actions, not by what we're saying. They watch every action. So my son has been watching me scream, watching the way I talk, copying my tone. And I wasn't aware of it. I was like, I just kept on doing it without even knowing that he's actually watching me, he's actually learning, and he was like responding exactly the same way to his sister. I was so uncomfortable. Like I heard him like, no, this is not right. And I realized that this is exactly the way I have been speaking to him. It was really bad. It was very, very, very uncomfortable, but we're getting there.
I can
We'll
totally
get
relate.
there.
I can totally relate. And I mean, again, it's kudos to you, because for you to even get to the point where you know this, like you are doing so wonderful already. There, all of us have our own stories too. When I was growing up, I wasn't particularly close to my mom because I felt like she was too strict and not approachable and all of that. And all of the things that I detested in her parenting, it was reflecting in the way I was parenting my girls too. As in something you don't like to do, but you find out that you are doing it. It's not as long as, and that's why parenting it's so profound, it's so reflective. If you're not careful, all those things that I didn't like the way my mom would, I was doing it. So why was I doing it? I couldn't control myself. It was until I started to understand, that there are actually ways, and there are ways to go about these things. And that's why we cannot even afford not to seek knowledge. Because if I stayed stuck in where I was, after all, that's how it was done to me. You know. So that thing is so reflective. You have on you see people who grew up in homes where their dad was drunk and very responsible. they'll abhor their dad, but then they get married and they start doing the same thing. And after they do it, they are like, this was something that, I detested my dad for. Why am I doing this? They can't control themselves. But it takes that intentionality to be able to start doing things the right way. That's why we cannot afford not to get seek knowledge and implement the right way.
Thank you,
Please,
ma'am.
sorry. There's this thing that I want to ask to know what to do, if it's wrong or if it's right. I used to make things easier for me, my kids, whenever I'm taking them to school. I used to do this the first person to get to that maybe a landmark, the first person to get to that light pole is the winner. The first person to get then when we get there, I say, oh, you're a winner. The first person to get to the next one. So, but now I discovered that anything they are doing, they tend to be competitive about it. Like, I'm the first person to do this, I'm the first person to do that. Is it right? Or I'm creating, I feel like I'm starting to create like this competitive environment for them.
So why do you normally do this? Is it do you usually give the person who gets it something? Is there a motive behind it, or just, oh, you're the first and that's it?
I'll just clap for the person and that is it. Or give sometimes I give if I have chocolate or something, I just give.
Just
Just that
give.
just to make things easy for me because they tend to play a lot and cry a lot on the road.
Okay, so I think again is we need to balance things. It's not I mean there is no these things, there is no hard or fast rule to things. It's like you have started noticing that this thing might be creating something, then we'll balance it. Sometimes maybe I should give an example of my let me give an example to give. It's not something that I typically do, but even when I say, oh, the first person to do this, like my first daughter, she doesn't eat a lot. So most times she nibbles on food, like she will spend so much time eating. Or like second one, I'll just finishes fast. So I'll say, oh, if you finish first, but then at the end of the day, it's not like I'm praising one, because this person is always doing this, and then I'm not, because again is that you will start creating that, oh, okay, so this person is always doing this, better than me. Because for in your case, for instance, maybe the first person to maybe run somewhere, and there's usually somebody who would run faster than the other, maybe by virtue of age, or by virtue of this person is just small, can run faster, and then you find out that it's always this one person who is doing that thing most of the time, and then you find the other ones that they now there is now that unhealthy competition as to, okay, I want to make sure that me too, I can do this. So it's okay to use that as an incentive once in a while, but we also need to look at when it's looking as if it's becoming an issue. Let us look for other ways to we'll celebrate everyone. Oh, you were the first, but oh, you did so well. In fact, let us even praise the effort much more than the result. So if there was somebody who even though the person did not wasn't the first person, wasn't the one who ran the fastest, but you saw that the person, even the second person, made an effort to, or even ran faster than he ran before. In fact, make it about that other person. You did so well today, like first time, she doesn't eat most of the time. It's always on the second one who, oh, most of the time she finishes her food first. Whenever the first one makes an effort, even though she didn't end up finishing her food first, or she didn't even eat, maybe she ate more than half, which she probably eat before, maybe just half or so, I will focus to be on her that day. I'm not going to praise the one who finish it first. I would focus on the other one's effort, let her know that, okay, yes, we are getting there. We're not there, but we are getting there. Because we also need to be mindful of raising praise junkies, people who are just, oh, we are just hailing. We are just hailing, There is also something that that it could develop into. So we need to also So let us celebrate effort, much more than, oh, you were the first person, we're the first person. Where we see that once in a while, yeah, we can do that, chip that in as incentive. There's because healthy competition is also good, but again, is that we also don't want it to, you know, sibling rivalry is real. Like I'm sure many of us, maybe many of us, will probably have one or two things with our siblings, and and if you trace back, you realize that a lot of these things stemmed from growing up. Some unspoken things. Oh, this one was one that was always doing this thing right. Every time they are praising, you know, and you just realize that this thing builds up over time. And before you know it, you develop into something that you'll be wondering, how did this thing grow to this extent? So let's also be mindful of, things like that.
Okay, thank you, ma. Then I want to just add this. Um is concerning our faith. If I have this group of teenagers and young adults
Okay.
where it's every Tuesday for fellowship, and there's this boy since from Nigeria that, although he's a young adult now, that you know I started mentoring him when he was a teenager. He was timid, reserved, and all. And I was encouraging him using my own experience when I was a teenager, as a child. And he started doing fine. It was okay. He started his own podcast, was doing well. But you see, the pressure of life, he didn't come, he came from a background where all these people that don't, they give their children out to other
Hmm.
people to.
Fine.
So, and these people that are training him, didn't really, they are pastors, but I don't know, they didn't really teach him things that he should know as a Christian. So what am I trying to say? Now he's converted to another religion because of money, because of he wants to meet up with bills, because he's the one taking care of his siblings and all. What I'm trying to say is, as parents, let's also teach our children to um how will I put it, to be rooted in our religion. That
Mhm.
nothing should shift our faith. Nothing. The Bible says, what can separate us from the love of God? And the Bible listed some things there. We should really start teaching them from small. The other religion, they start teaching their children from small.
Hmm.
To the extent when you mention another, they tend to fight you. Let's do that with our children as Christians also. Let's do that with our children. Teach them things that money is not enough to our eternal journey. Money is not just enough. We are just so selfish that they mirror us. That when we need something, that is when we go to God. So when they need something, they go to God. And if God doesn't answer, they find alternative.
Okay.
So, yes. So when we are maybe doing our Bible study, and if we are not having Bible study with our children, yeah, let's start and let's ship in
Very
things.
important.
Yes, ma'am. Let's ship in things for them to know and understand that our faith shouldn't be shaken because of little things that God can actually do if we have a good fellowship with Him. So, just what I
Wow.
wanted to.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you so much. Very profound. Very, very, very profound. And again, it's all of these things start from if we can get them, when they are much younger. It's not pastors' children. In fact, if those pastors are not intentional, in fact, they are even usually the worst because they are attending to every other children, but not theirs. They don't even have the time, but no matter what it is that they are doing, we must make the time, and it's in all aspects of life, spiritual, academic, social, every aspect of life, right? Bible study is not just leaving it to when they go to church, because there are things that you would teach them, and again is to say that we are still the first and most effective teachers in our child's life. So there's a way you be having Bible study with your children. you are chipping in things that even just happened maybe yesterday, or you bring it so close to home, unlike what they are going to learn in church or in Sunday school, or you are using relatable examples in your own life, in even in their own life, the things that they've just done, the things that so we just have to make that time. We just have to pray together. When they do these things, when we do these things, we it's difficult, because they will encounter those struggles, they will encounter all of those things. But when they do, they will know that, I mean, that culture, that value, those principles that they were raised with, it will be difficult to live. It will be very difficult to live. But if they were just raised anyhow, then they don't even understand what values are. As Christians in our homes, we should what are our values? First of all, our children should know what are our values. There are certain things that we don't joke with in our home. Your children should be able to know what are those things. Is it leadership? Is it spirituality? Is it, and it's not going to church. It's being a Christian, living it, eating it, walking it, responsibility, excellence. Those are values. The same way companies have values, we should have values that drive us in our home. And at every opportunity that you are teaching them, or you are having conversations with them, link those values to say, in our home, this is what we are known for. We do things this way because it registers in their head, and somehow it is integrated into their life, and it becomes a part of them. So when those external things come, they will either shake it off, or even when they are pressured, it would be. And then, because they also have that bond with you, it is also easy to, maybe that guy, probably, maybe they've been disturbing him. Maybe he just spoke to one friend and, what are you waiting for? You are still thinking about it. But if we have this kind of connection with our children, when those things, they will come to us. They will tell us what is going on in their lives, and then we'll also be able to advise accordingly. So everything is all linked together. Is a journey that we are all on, and God will help us all.
Thank you so much. Thank you. We're 38 minutes behind schedule.
I didn't even realize.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a very interesting topic, and
Very, very, very.
sincerely, we really need to continue this next week. I
Oh,
don't
we
know
will.
if Stella
We
is
will.
available. We'll really love to have you around if you are available. But if you're not available, we can, and if we have questions, comments, we can write it out. I will make sure I forward it to Stella. And next week we will continue, because there are lots of things.
There's
That's
a
why
lot.
I have to close my mouth, because if I should start, it's another sermon in the next 2
We'll leave
hours. We
here
are still
today.
here. You're still here. So next week, please, let's make it a date. Let's come in early. I understand Saturday is always so busy, especially for some of us that we are just waking up. We still have a lot of things. My children have come here. We have to go out. So please, so sorry, we have to round up now. Thank you so much for joining us. I think I saw a new person. Is it Mr. Temitayo or Mrs. Temitayo? Temitayo Abiodun. Thank you for joining us. I don't know if she's here. Okay, I've shared the WhatsApp group link in the chat. If you want to join our WhatsApp group, you can as well click and join us. Thank you so much for today. And if you want to discuss anything with me, I will still be here for some minutes. If you, as I always tell us, if you are working on a project, you need someone to brainstorm with, please, I'm just a DM away. Send me a DM. I'm available for you. If you need any business ideas, skills, you want to go back to work, you don't even know how to go about it, you need someone to boost that morale, please, I'm available. I'm here for you. You need someone to pour out your heart to, I'm available. Please, I'm always available. Let's try as much as possible to utilize this opportunity of this community. We are here to support each other. There'll be some time that we need you to. There are some people here They will come to my DM, Mama, are you resting? Yes, I love all those words, all those words. I love all those encouragements. Oh, Mama, you've not posted today. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Stella, sincerely, I can't appreciate you enough. All I will say is God bless you. God bless your vision. God bless your home. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you so much, Mamas. Have a nice
Yep.
weekend and happy IW Day. Bye.
Bye.
Madam Inkiruka, please, I need to chat with you. Oh, she left. Okay. Madam, it's been a while. Are you at work?
Good evening. Good afternoon.
You did not miss your sister. I thought of you this morning that this one, pressure just packed me aside. I didn't hear from you.
Don't pack you aside, though. Forgive me. Oh. Forgive this
It
small
is
girl.
well. It is well. Thank God for everything. How is your work?
You're fine. Thank God. They're
And the
pushing.
children? Thank God. Thank God. Thank God. I'm so happy to hear that. My books, I'm reading, but the challenge I'm having, the way I read, I study. I don't read.
Okay.
So I write it out. I think I have my notes. Where did I even put that note? So I do jot out. I write it as if I'm studying for exam. That's how me I read. So I've not had time to type to type those things.
The most
That's why
important thing is that the idea is just that we are reading. It's not everybody that is there that is actually doing the review. But why yeah, it's just the review is just to encourage, like you understand, to just encourage people, yeah. So actually, but even my brother is in the group and he's reading every month, but he said he doesn't have time to start sending the reflection and stuff
the
like that.
typing, yeah. But I read, and if I should snap it and send you can't even see my writing.
No, but you can also share the book you are reading. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, we do that. Like every month, we share the book that we are reading in a month.
Mm,
So you can also share the book you are reading. Yes.
okay.
All right.
That's not a problem. That's a very good and I saw that your LinkedIn, you're now on fire. Sincerely, I'm so impressed. I'm
Thank
so
you, ma.
I'm so
Thank you, ma.
impressed. You have to now start monetizing it because that is the mistake people do make. Don't just build followers. Not monetizing as don't let me really use the word. You said something?
No, 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 no. I'm hearing you.
Yeah. Not just can I use the word monetizing? Like start is it monetizing I will use now? Like start having I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to bring out.
Optimizing the LinkedIn or something. I don't know. It's still
No,
I
no,
don't
no.
know.
Selling out your value. Like
Okay.
yes, not just about posting, not just about there's so many people that need your services. It depends on what you are portraying. I know you are more into children development, therapy, and co. And a lot of these services are needed.
Yeah.
Yes, a lot of these services are needed out there. So you can start creating a brand around that.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
Pray about it and let God direct you on how to go about it, so that it won't just. I have people, mothers, they have close to 10,000 followers and they're still looking for job.
Serious. It's
Yeah,
very oh God.
yeah. It doesn't make any sense to me if you have numbers of followers and you can't get some values, add some values, and a woman of God, you should have interpreted what I'm saying.
I understand what you are saying. It's not like I don't understand what you are saying. I understand what you are saying. Actually, I understand what you are saying. Seriously, I understand. I just which day I was even like, well, but like you said, we pray about it and God gives
Pray
us,
about it. Yeah,
yeah, clarity about it. Yes, that's just it.
pray about
That's
it.
all. We don't jump into things like that. We are not carnal people. So,
Mm-mm,
yeah,
mm-mm. It's more than um just doing it because people are doing it.
doing it. Yes, I thank
Mm-mm.
you. Thank
No,
you. That's
it's,
just the
it's
word.
it's more than that. We really need God to direct us on what to do part time.
Actually,
Mm. And also, you can be open to public speaking in your field.
yeah, I'm open to that. Building the morale of public speaking.
Yeah, you
God,
need to,
Joe.
yeah,
I,
work
do
more
you
on
hear
it,
me?
create profile. You say what?
Do you hear me?
I can hear you now.
I said I'm open to public speaking. Oh, we are just still building our building and still building my confidence small, small. Do you know, like before, I'm thank God. Even my husband will say, you're doing so well because I knew how I started. Before I wasn't able to even do anything. For me
Thank
to even like courage to start like it's not like I don't have the knowledge, it's not like I don't, but even to speak out things that I know, things that I am sure about, to even to express it, it's a problem. Well, I know that God is just doing a lot of work on me. I'm able to even express certain things. I'm able to speak. I'm able to gather people together, and people call me. No, I don't even say me. I'm just that God has created us to do more. We are not limiting ourselves.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah, He has created us to do more. So, but I'm not also
mm-hmm.
limiting myself. I'm spreading any opportunity I get. I don't say no to opportunities. I believe that there are platform for growth. The worst that can happen, what the worst that can happen is that you do it and you didn't do it well and you learn from it. That's
You
just
learn
it.
from it. Like the write up I shared yesterday. I don't know if you read it. What if I fail?
Well,
The,
just you do it and you don't do it well and learn from it. That's just it.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And everything in life is a learning process, though.
Yes,
It's
so
just
it
we
is.
human. It's we human that always think, oh, people are not responding. Oh,
Yeah.
people don't like it. Okay, like this our Saturday event. Some people have come to me and was like, Mama, let's do it 2 times in a month. This every week is not convenient. Oh,
Yeah.
people will not join. People will not. I said, see, if it's just one
One
person,
person. Ah,
I'm good.
that's the thing. That's the thing. That's the idea. That's the thing.
I don't care. You see, yes, I love people flooding in. At least so there are some Saturdays we have 23 people joining, 24 people joining. Yes, I love it. But at the same time, it cannot be like that. These are mothers. It cannot, we can't have it every week like that everybody will sit
People
down.
are busy now, so sometimes it's not convenient. Sometimes people have other things they are doing.
Even me, that as I'm talking, like last week, I was not home last week. During the section I was driving, I was invited to come for an event to represent Mindful Mom. So I was there. I put on I have to use my phone. I could not. So because of that, will I stop the event? Will I say the virtual hangout should not hold?
Why not? You cannot
Ah,
do that now. You have to show up.
yeah. So, and that is it. When we start having this mindset that, it will fail. Oh, people will not, the vision will not even grow. And
No,
we will
but
not take steps.
there's another thing that I believe is that when you are a believer, when you know the God you are serving and you
Mhm.
start something, and me, for me, anything I'm doing has to be related to the glorification of God. I just believe that's my own assignment. If it
Yes.
doesn't glorify God, then that's not it. So, but if you are doing it to the glorification of God, it's already a covenant that you have with God that every Saturday by so time women will gather and they will, this thing is this they go. So it's not about the people, it's not about the number. It's not
Yes.
just about the number. Please don't stop. Oh, some of us are looking forward to it though.